Hey, Rob from Order 42 here, and today we've got some news to talk about. We've got a lot of things going on in the entertainment world. Christopher Nolan saying that he may never work with Warner Brothers ever again, which makes sense considering what he said about a month ago. Yeah, we've got new series to talk about. We've got new trailers to talk about. It's gonna be fun. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty of news coming all the time. We're always here to talk about it. So yeah, let's just dig into it. So yeah, when Warner Brothers announced that they were gonna release all of their movies the same day in theaters and on HBO Max, Christopher Nolan very soon after gave an interview where he basically talked about how much he disliked that idea and how they were wrong and they shouldn't do it, and it's just yeah. That's the thing, and this article from IndieWire is really interesting because it kind of talks about some of his where could he go, what studios could he actually go to? Paramount kind of strapped for cash. Right now, they're waiting on Top Gun to be released. That's probably going to be a pretty big return for him for that movie. And then there's Sony. They've been strapped for cash. Disney really isn't a good fit because a lot of their movies are more family friendly, family oriented. They don't typically do the kinds of movies that Christopher Nolan does. And then maybe Universal. But, from his point of view, from Nolan's point of view, Universal may not be a good fit because of their shorter windows. That whole thing that, if you remember, we talked about this about a month and a half ago, where Universal made a deal with some of the big theater chains that there would be a shorter window for the theatrical run if it didn't hit a certain number in that opening weekend. So Universal may not be a good fit, but the streaming services are probably one of the best options. The problem is Christopher Nolan likes the theatrical experience. So would somebody like Netflix, Apple, Amazon, would they pony up the dough for a Christopher Nolan movie and agree to release that in theaters? There's a lot of questions here. So it's an interesting quandary. What is Nolan gonna do? Because Warner Brothers really is one of the best fits. He's been with them for 18 years. That's where he's made most of his movies. The fact is, Warner Brothers and by proxy AT&T just may not care. They may not care to lose Christopher Nolan because HBO Max is where their focus is right now. They're really trying to focus as hard as they can on getting as much content there as possible to try to get as many subscribers as possible. They've had their issues. When Game of Thrones ended, they lost so many of their subscribers. So they're really focused on trying to get people there. So does Christopher Nolan even fit that mold? I just don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because, well, as you know, I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, and I can't wait to see what he does next and where he ends up. And I don't know if you saw this, but over the weekend, Warner Brothers and Legendary, they released a trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong. And even from somebody who's really just, I would say, a casual fan at best, it looks good. It looks really, really entertaining. Wasn't a fan of the music choice. I felt like it was, I don't know, it just felt weird to me. But I really, really enjoyed the trailer. I thought it looked really good. I thought the effects are amazing. They're just ridiculous. The fighting looks really cool. So I'm really, really excited about it. They actually pushed the release date a few days. They moved it from March 26th to March 31st. So it's not a huge change. It's not going to affect a whole lot of things. But yeah, I did find that interesting. That yeah, we're just going to push it till March 31st. Okay. It's a few more days to wait. I think we can handle that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Even though I'm kind of worried that the human element in the story isn't really gonna be the best. Let's be honest. We're not there to see the human story, but that's how they always seem to introduce it. Godzilla, the Kong Skull Island, both of those were very. Kong was a side character in his own movie, and so was Godzilla. So it's kind of one of those things where I feel like, okay, well, did we see the best parts of the movie already? I guess we'll see. And also in trailer news, Disney released the trailer for Raya and the Last Dragon, and I think this is probably the final trailer. I'm not really sure exactly, but all I gotta say is I enjoy the look of it. I think Kelly Marie Tran is just a joy to me. I know there's a lot of people that aren't a fan of hers, but I think she's great, and I really enjoy the animation style and everything really about this. This is going to be a Premier Access title, which means that yes, on top of your Disney Plus subscription, if you want to see Raya and the Last Dragon, you do have to pay the $29.99 fee on top of it to basically unlock it for your account. Not crazy about that, but I mean, I'm still excited to see the movie, and I probably will go ahead and get it because I'm really excited. I think this looks great. I mean, the storyline, from what I can tell, it looks like it's right up my alley. It's the kind of movie that I really like. And I kind of like the idea that, Collider is saying that it's basically Disney's Tomb Raider. It looks cool. And I think it could be really, really good. So I'm looking forward to it. And speaking of Tomb Raider and I guess Kong here, we got news that Skull Island and Tomb Raider anime series are coming to Netflix. Now, I think what's really, really interesting about this is that Legendary is behind both of these properties. And we've been talking Legendary a lot lately because they've been working with Warner Brothers for many, many years and have been recently clashing with Warner Brothers over this whole simultaneous release of their movies in theaters and on HBO Max. So it's interesting that they're going this route on Netflix. And I have to tell you, Tomb Raider has been one of my favorite series ever since I played the original on the PC way back in the day. So it's gonna be cool to see how this plays out. And I mean, are they gonna go with the traditional Lara Croft character, design, or are they gonna go with this sort of the Shadow of the Tomb Raider type design? I don't know. All I know is I'm interested, and since it's on Netflix, I'll be able to watch it. So I'm really excited about the both of these. And finally today, we got news that a Harry Potter live-action TV series is in development over at HBO Max. And I gotta say, I don't know what to make of this. I mean, I guess the interesting thing about this is, I mean, what is this show going to be about? What is it? Is it going to be? Are they going to try to get the original actors back? To reprise their roles? I mean, I kind of got the feeling that all three of them were ready to move on. I mean, they played those characters, since they were young, and then they did 8 movies together. It's kind of time to move on. But even if they could, would we want to see that? Would we want to see what their adult lives are like, out in the world, as adult wizards, I mean, is that what we want to see? Or are they just going to, maybe we're going to follow a new group of students at Hogwarts? That could be interesting. And of course it's ripe for storytelling there, but then it goes even beyond that. I mean, it could be a story about, let's say, maybe the U.S., and they have a group of spies that are wizards, I mean, you could do pretty much anything you wanted in that world. That's what's so great about it. The problem is I sort of feel like it's a little, I don't know, maybe too little too late, because I feel like a lot of people have moved on from the Harry Potter series. I mean, even with J.K. Rowling getting in all the trouble she has gotten into recently, and yeah, would you even want to tell some of these stories without her? Because, look, I'll be honest with you. I get it. J.K. Rowling is not the most popular person in the world right now. That's true. But I can't deny that those books were not some of the best reading experiences of my entire life. Seriously. They're so well written. And the world is so... The way that everything works together, I still say that they're some of my favorite books, but I've moved on, and I just don't know if the world is there with me, or if they're clamoring for more Harry Potter. I mean, I guess we'll see. So yeah, I guess that about wraps it up. I mean, what do you think about all this? Chris Nolan and Warner Brothers not gonna work together anymore, possibly? I mean, don't know. Did you see the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer? What did you think about that? Are you as excited about that as I am? Raya and the Last Dragon. You gonna pony up the dough, the $30 to watch that on top of your Disney Plus subscription, or are you like, nah, not gonna happen? Tomb Raider, Skull Island, Harry Potter, new series. What do you think? Let me know down below. We'll talk about it. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do is sit and chat with you all about this stuff. I mean, I love this stuff. It's so much fun. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.